Right, that's it. That's it. Hello.
Hello,
Oh
hi
my God, we're
everybody.
orange now. I'm gonna sort out. So I'm sorry. Hello, welcome. Hello everyone. Hey Matt. Hey Corinne. Um, so I told you last time, Karen, I have these hue lights in my house, right? And
The
so like
change color.
at various times of the day. So because we're at home right now, we set the lights to being this ridiculously bright color. So like everything is like this level white, right? And then at around like 6 o'clock, it goes into this kind of like yellowier tone. So you can see the difference, right? And at eight,
Okay.
it turns down to relax. So like I set the lights all up, and then it turns 8 o'clock, and it just all went. So never mind. I'm setting it up. I'm setting it up. Hello,
Is it like
hello.
supposed to get like nicer for going to sleep and stuff?
Well, no, it's not actually. We just set it up at times when we know that we. So it's like Liam and I are both guilty of overworking. So we would just keep on working, right? So at 6 o'clock, the lights will change to a slightly yellower tone. And then we would just be like, oh, okay, we should stop working now. Like, so
Oh,
it's like a
okay.
nice reminder, like, it's fine. But then later on in the evening, I just feel like the lights are quite bright. So I get them to tone down at the times that I know that I'm going to get annoyed at them. So,
Well, who would have known that we were going to start our discussion off talking about lights?
oh, it's an
Hey Matt, hey
automatic light
Corinne,
thing. Right. And
hey
Sean,
Matt,
hello, Sean.
Catherine. My
Hello.
dad is always
Hello,
here and
Dad.
number one fan. Hi
Oh, and
Claire.
hey, Claire. Hey, welcome, welcome. Yeah, and hey, Gabby, welcome.
Hi
So,
Gabby.
how are you, Karen, this week?
I'm actually in a good mood this week.
Oh,
Like,
lucky you.
yeah. Yeah, like I mean, I don't know why I've just felt very positive this week. Work has still been insane, but for some reason I just thought I'd show you. Oh, hold on, I've got my Mickey Mouse beer opener. I thought I would just show that as I'm opening
Oh
my
my
beer.
God, let's just drop
But
that
yeah,
in.
my week has been okay, like really busy, but it's been fine. How about you?
It's been less than great this week.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's been pretty tough at work, and we've had to make some organizational changes. Let's put it that way. So it's not been great. So I'm happy
No,
that
it's
it's the
tough.
weekend, and I'm like trying to put things away. Like I'm actually one of these people that will think and think. And I don't know about anybody else, but I think and think and think, and it just goes round in my head, and it gets very exhausting. So if you have tips for moving
Shutting
past
off.
things, yeah, shutting off and
Yeah,
just being able to park something, I would love to know what they are, aside from
yeah. Like
alcohol, because I've tried that one. So like
that's only like
other
a temporary fix.
yeah, exactly. Other tips other than alcohol would be great. Actually, the YouTube live has really helped, and talking to people has really helped as well. Actually, that's been really good. Even if it's just people involved and people outside of work, it's just talking to people has been really lovely. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because like
thank you for being
normally,
kind.
if this was like normal circumstances, if one of us had had like a really bad day, we would just like hang out and
Yeah,
have a few drinks, then have a nice meal and talk it out. Whereas
yeah.
obviously it's very different in quarantine. Oh, we have some more people joining. Rachel's joined us as
Hey,
well.
Rachel.
Miller Muffins, hello.
Hey,
Leona, oh, and Scott and Vera.
and
Oh
Veronica.
my
Yeah,
God,
hi, welcome.
loads of people.
And
So
Sean's
Sean
asking.
wants to
Oh,
know.
sorry.
Yeah,
How
well, I was
we
going
go?
to say the same thing. Sean wants to know how your walk went.
Do you know what? It was really weird. So, okay, so the worst day this week, and I got to tell, like, I had the cringe moment this week that happened to me as well, like double, like it was just awful. Where I sent a message to my boss, which I was not supposed to be sending to my boss, and I just like the whole week was just awful. Anyway, so I got to the point where I was like, I have to like actually now is the first time in like 2.5 months. Is it been 2.5 months? 2 months, right? Where I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to go outside. Like I actually want to. The other times I've not been bothered. I've just been like, yeah, it's fine. Like I'm working out here, it's fine. But we did. It was actually really awesome. We went to one of the London parks that is quite close to us, and it was a beautiful day. And we were like looking out over the city, trying to like, is there less pollution? I think there is less pollution. And so yeah, it was awesome. Liam said that his legs were hurting at the end, but the exercise that I've been doing at home is stepping. So like I've been stepping up and down on my little stepper stool
Your
thing.
step
So I
stool.
was all right. Yeah, my step stool. I got my little one down here. You can get my hand with it. Look, I love my little step stool. It's like, oh, so my baby. The other one's bigger. The one I actually step on. But they're good for working out. No lies.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Okay, it's good. All right,
So
Karen. Zach
you
loves
may
you, by the
notice,
way.
I'm just going to point this out, right? You may notice on the weeks that the chat is on Natasha's channel and Natasha has control of the comments, that the conversation does one of these every now and then. I think the last time you had control of the comments, we talked about chocolate for 50 minutes.
I mean, that's a very viable subject, Karen. Right, Claudine, hello from, right, is it Grenada?
Grenada?
Or is it Granada? Or is it Granada, like Canada?
I would guess Granada, but I'm terrible at pronunciation.
Okay, Claudine, you can tell us. But anyway, hello from California. That's awesome. All right, yeah. And Gabby said all 3 times that I've been on a walk, my legs get super sore because you're just out of practice. Like this is the thing.
Yeah.
Liam and I used to go for walks. I would walk home from work, and home from work is about 100. It's 100.
Yeah, we did it together.
So 130. No, 1 hour and 30 minutes, not 130 minutes. 1 hour and 30 minutes. And so yeah, there was a lot of walking done, and I used to do that as exercise for the Disney parks, you know. But yeah, it's just not happening right now. But I was okay the other day. Although, do you know what? Because I'm stepping so much, my knees are getting sore. So I'm like, oh, age! Behold the ravages of age. So
Claudine said it's Granada. So I was right. Granada.
Karen, you're right about pronunciation things.
I know it never happens.
You would have guessed. Mark, you're trying to multitask and do a quiz whilst watching this. Like, yeah, I know we always hold the quiz at a bad time for you because lots of people have quizzes at this time, 8 p.m. on Fridays. It's like quiz time, isn't it? Yeah. So I think there's a bunch of people
I'm just not really a quiz person. Like,
I think I was a quiz person in my 20s. I just did loads. I loved it, but I think I was watching lots of non-fiction. I have to always do the check with fiction and non-fiction. Yeah. I was watching loads and loads of documentaries at that time. So I was like, quiz, I'm ready, right?
Yeah.
And now all I watch is Twitch and YouTube.
So it's like there's not many quiz questions on those topics.
No. So and not like the documentary YouTubes that might catch like Liam will be watching, right? It's just like, people going to Disney World. So it's like, unless your topic is Disney World, I'm kind of at a disadvantage. So yeah, I'm not doing it so much at the moment.
Claudine's comment says, yeah, she's watching with Elissa, her 9-year-old, who's a huge fan of your channel. Yay.
Oh, hello, Elissa. My cousin's name is Elissa as well. She also lives in California. It's an awesome name. It's awesome to see you watching the channel. Yay.
So
cool.
We had a plan this evening.
Yeah. Are we going to divert? The plan this evening was to talk about the dream trip, Karen. The dream trip.
So I guess the theory is if I was to plan me and Natasha's next trip to Walt Disney World, and then Natasha was to plan me and Natasha's next trip to Tokyo, what would we do? So I'll go first, and then we can go back to the comments, and then Natasha, you can go about Tokyo. How does that sound?
Sounds good. I have a secret other one as well because I just thought about it a moment ago. Anyway, just go. Yes. And
I'm kind of winging this. Like I'm just kind of going on, like I've not planned it in detail like I would normally plan a real trip.
I really want to know what places you've chosen to stay. That's where I'm like, okay.
Okay, well, I mean, like, to be honest, you bang on about Wilderness Lodge all the time, so I don't know why it would be any surprise that I would take you anywhere else. But first of all, we'd have to fly business, right? So we'd get to fly. I mean, if I could, we'd fly first class, but I feel like that's beyond the realms of even
it's just a bit of ridiculous. I think I'll just sit in first class and just look at other people going.
Like, I can't relax.
Believe you do this all the time.
And like, you wouldn't be able to relax because I'd be like, I need to enjoy every minute of this paid experience.
I know. Just like it'd be like Ross from that Friends episode where I'm just like stealing everything that isn't locked down. Just like it's mine. Like the toilet roll is mine. Like I technically paid for it. So
I think yeah, but business is achievable, especially if we save our Avios or our Virgin Miles.
Yeah.
And then we could stay in Wilderness Lodge because you love Wilderness Lodge. And I've never stayed there before, so that would be a really cool place to do because it'd be new for the two of us.
Yeah.
And there's boats, and I love boats.
I do also love boats.
And I would take you to see the Hoop-Dee-Doo review. That would be like our first main meal. Because I love when you go to a new hotel, then when you have dinner at the resort, I know it's for Wilderness, so it's not Wilderness Lodge, but it's not far from there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not far. And I've never done it. I've never done Hoop-Dee-Doo.
I
would definitely end up on stage and making an ass out of myself. That would definitely happen.
When I did it with my friend, she got pulled on stage because she was there for her honeymoon, and it was the day of her birthday. And I was like, you're gonna end up on stage. There's no way this isn't gonna happen. Like she's got like the veil ears and she had a birthday badge on. And yeah, she did get pulled on stage. She was the can girl. So
brilliant. Wear trousers.
But that
would
be really good fun. I think we would both enjoy that.
Awesome.
But I think for us, like I really liked Epcot when we went together. So I feel like we'd have to go like first day to Magic Kingdom, because you just have to do that. You have to go see the castle and say hi, meet Mickey, be like, hey Mickey, we're back. We missed you. It's been a long time.
I mean, we're gonna, yeah, you say that, but it'll basically be hugging him and crying, ugly crying at the same time.
I mean, realistically, like we'd probably arrive at Wilderness Lodge and like be on the floor, just like,
yeah,
leave, I'm here.
I'm never leaving.
But yeah, I figured like if I was to plan sort of a day for us for our first day, it would be, of course, Magic Kingdom, because we have to go and cry for an hour and be so happy that we're back and see Mickey and go on some rides. And also I feel like Magic Kingdom's a good one for you because there's no rides there that you won't go on. Like as in there's no terror doing your day with or anything.
That's
like that.
True. Yeah, there isn't a ride at Magic Kingdom that I won't go on. Because they might put, well, yeah, because even in Epcot there's a ride that I won't go on. I won't go on Mission Space. That's the vomit comet. No way.
And like even when Tron opens, like you got to the stage where you enjoyed Tron after we did it like 10
Tron,
times.
but it was just like every time I'm there, I'm just a bit like, oh god, here it comes. Like, and then the time when we were on Tron and we were just trying to work out what we were having for dinner later was the best one. What should we have for dinner later? Like on the bikes, just like going to the starting bit. This would be nice, yeah.
If you think like Natasha was really scared to go on Tron, she got to the point where she was so comfortable that we could sit and chat on the bikes, like, oh yeah, like what are we going to do after this? Oh, I don't know.
That is an accurate sound effect for Tron.
So that would be like where we would stay in our first day. So let's maybe pick up some comments and then you can tell me about where we're going to go in Tokyo. Oh, we missed a few.
We did. I'm going up because I know it was around 8:07. Leona's asking us, what are your thoughts on Shanghai Disney's opening? Have you watched much about it? I have. I watched quite a bit about it actually. That when they there was I think it was on either on WDW News, their Instagram account, I think,
and the park blogs of Disney. Park blogs,
they did a tour. The head of operations had taken people around and journalists around Shanghai Disney to show them the places. I'm like, I thought it was quite interesting. I like how they've put the squares on the ground where you can't stand. So it's like, don't stand in this area, because apparently due to a survey, this was better than places where you can stand. So that's what they've done so it's because it's weird. They did a survey and according to people in queues, they want to be told where not to stand, not where to stand. So they can't stand in these cordoned off areas. But if you're somewhere where you're looking at a parade, well, it's not no parades at the moment, but if you're looking at a show, there's yellow boxes and each family has to stand within the yellow boxes. So I ain't gonna lie, I thought the yellow box system was really cool because you can have this great view because not so many people are obstructing it. And, there's quite, obviously it's social distancing, so there's a lot of distance between you and somebody else. It's quite comfortable.
Yeah.
Although I did see, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, from what I've seen, they've implemented enough where if I was there and I could get there by domestic travel, like by driving or whatever, I would feel comfortable to go to the park. So like, that's kind of how I would judge it, is like, having seen everything they've implemented, would I feel comfortable going? And also I think for a park like Shanghai that's so incredibly busy on a normal day, it actually might be a better experience than the day-to-day experience. Of course, there's going to be things that are limited, but given that crowds is such a big issue there, like for people that come from the American parks or from Paris and stuff, it actually might be a really, really nice experience to go while they have these restrictions. So I have very positive feelings about what's happened in Shanghai.
I've said it a few times. My only real big concern is that it costs a lot of money to keep a Disney park open. Like fireworks shows cost something like $30,000 a night to put on. And so if you're not taking that money in, then you can't put those things on. It's just not possible. And so that's probably, actually, we've not spoken about that previously. I know some people said that they wouldn't want to go to Walt Disney World yet if the fireworks show wasn't on, and you and I have said actually we probably would do. But that is saving them. They must be saving them. I think Happily Ever After is around the 30K a night mark. I think the Epcot show, whatever it's called at the moment, is more around the 12 to 15.
So it's
But
probably good that it's helping them offset the cost, right? If they've got less people.
right,
So
exactly.
yeah.
Kathy says hello. Hello, Kathy.
Hello.
Scott's asking us if we've watched The Mandalorian on Disney Plus yet. I'm about halfway through, Scott, actually.
Oh, I've
yes.
watched it all. I loved it.
Have you?
Yeah,
You loved
I
it, loved it. When's
Yeah.
the next series coming out?
I think it's going to be like another year or something. I don't think it's anytime soon.
I'm not very good at waiting. So, although I guess I've not seen everything, but I have enjoyed what I've seen. But yes, I
hate
only
waiting.
seen about
It's the Netflix generation, isn't it? You just expect to be able to watch like series by series.
Right. Apparently, I look different. So I don't know what. It's the long hair, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
This is
probably.
quarantine. So quarantine hair and the fringe. Look at this. So or bangs, as you guys say in America. Like I'm thinking of like if we should grow it. Like, is this finally the time that we grow out the fringe?
I think so. I think you might as well give it a go. Well, you can't cut it. You definitely shouldn't cut it yourself.
I might have done that before. I'm just all right, fine. Elissa says, "What's your favorite Disney park?" Elissa, my favorite Disney park is Tokyo Disneyland. I absolutely love it. And the best thing I love about Tokyo Disneyland is the honey popcorn and Pooh's Honey Hunt, the Winnie the Pooh ride. It's amazing. It's so cool. And actually, the Small World, which is not one of my favorite rides ever, but the Small World in Tokyo Disneyland is amazing. So if you haven't seen it, check out YouTube video of it because it's really, really cool. Actually, you might have seen it on the vlogs. So there you go. Karen, what about you? What's your favorite Disney park?
Like my favorite one would probably be Magic Kingdom. Like that's the one that I really want to go back to. If I think in my heart of hearts, where do I want to be right now? It's Magic Kingdom in Orlando. So I guess that's it. But I just love all the parks. Like
I know. And then you just think about, you're like, but Epcot and but this and but that.
I know. It's like you love them all for different reasons.
And Claire says this is her dream trip to Wilderness and Hoop, best show ever. Actually, yeah, so I have seen some of Hoop Do review on blogs like a Clary Tale. And it does look amazing. I know I'll get into it. The food looks like something else. Like the food looks unbelievable.
Good.
And they just bring it to you.
Family style. Oh, it's really good. Rachel says, "I'm waiting for you to say, and Rachel will be there too." And Rachel will be there too.
And Rachel will be there too. Rachel has to come because there's 2 beds in every room, and I take the little fold down bed, and that is how it works.
Natasha has her own little kid's bed.
Right. Lucy and Lewis, hey, welcome. Rachel's making me laugh. That's hilarious. And Gabby says, "I'm going to have Karen plan my trip to Walt Disney World when it finally happens. I haven't been since I was 8." So yes, Karen is the one with the Walt Disney World tips. So
I feel like, I really should write a book at some stage because I feel like I've got so much like planning information. Even sometimes I get overwhelmed by the amount of planning information I have. And I feel sorry for people that kind of like just ask me the question like, "Oh, I'm planning a trip. Like, what do you think?" And I'm like, all of these things you need to know.
Yeah. And that's one of the big reasons like you start a YouTube, like a lot of the Disney YouTubers start is because that was one of the things I really struggled with is you read up on everything and you go and you have this amazing trip and then you come back and you're like, I'm sitting on all this information and I've got nobody wants to talk to me about it. So it's just like you talk about it in the vlogs and then other people learn. But I was watching a lot of Adam's Patton's vlogs before I went in 2016, and it had been a long time since I've been like it might have been 2008, and then and then went again in 2016, and I just watched his videos, which are obviously vlogs, but it was all the tips he was giving within the vlogs that were the important thing. Your dad says, "Don't worry, Rachel, because there'll be an Animal Kingdom lodge if we're in Wilderness Lodge." Come join the dark side. Come join the dark side. And Veronica said, "I think that the signs on the ground on where to stand would stop queue jumping." I think it's so. I haven't. So one of the interesting things about Shanghai Disneyland, I've said this in a few other different vlogs and live streams and such, is that it's bad when it's busy. But it's very, very manageable if it's not busy. Well, I know sounds stupid, but it's just like if people, I don't know, it sort of there's something where it gets to a point and then everything goes a bit crazy. But if it's not a very busy day in the parks, it's actually sort of normal. Yeah, it's fine. And people don't queue jump and it's quite relaxing. It's just if it's a busy day, that's when it starts to get crazy.
And even actually when there was busy days, like once we stayed late in the evening when everyone had to go and get their trains, it was amazing. Like it's such an amazing park to be in when it's not busy because it's huge. And it's like, but it somehow manages to be big but still have great theming. There's a few parts like where it's a bit sparse, but considering the size of it, they've done a great job at maintaining the theme around different parts of the park. So
yeah, Tokyo and Shanghai did a good job with that, and I think it's the outside funding because of how they're franchises, right? They're not owned by Disney. So I know in the Oriental group in Japan, they just pump a lot of money into Tokyo Disney. Disney Matt with the news. Mandalorian season 2 is October this year.
Okay.
This year.
Now we know.
Perfect. That'll be good.
Even that's far away, but like at least it's this year.
Yeah, exactly. Christine, hello, and Rochelle, hello. Yes, and Nishi says, "Are you all just bummed at y'all? Are y'all just bummed?" I love the term y'all, but I can't do it. I'm sorry, it's my accent. Just bummed as me that the release of Mulan has been postponed. Yeah, when has it been postponed to? Because I don't know. Because I know a lot of these Hollywood movies that you can't go to the cinema, so they've just pushed them back, right? And
you know what though? Like, I feel like they were pumping out the live actions a bit quick. Like there were some that came out that I didn't even like know were supposed to come out. You know what I mean? So although I think of course, if you're looking forward to the movie, it's sad that it's been postponed. But I do feel like they could have done with slowing down the rate of release.
Yeah.
Because it was just like movie, and it was like, I
know there was this interview with Bob Iger when he was leaving Disney, although he's come back now, of course. But they were saying, oh, you know, is there any regrets? And one of the things he said, this is unrelated to live action movies, but he said, I think we put out too many Star Wars movies too quickly. And it was like, yeah, I kind of see what you mean, like in the same kind of vein with the with the live action ones as well. Yeah, I'm kind of all for an original story as well. That's the other thing. And of course, like it's weird because with live action movies, one of the most amazing things is you get to relive that story in sort of like a different way. I can add some bits and pieces to it. The sideline is that Disney earns a lot of money and starts building more rides in the parks. Yeah. So like
I really actually enjoyed the new Lady and the Tramp. I didn't even know that happened. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, and then when I got Disney Plus, I saw it, and I actually really enjoyed it. But I hadn't seen the original animation for quite some time. The only thing that's really sad about it, though, is that they don't have the Siamese cats. I don't know. Maybe if they thought it was a bit culturally.
I wanted to be able to do maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You're just like to do it. You're like, I just
no. Maybe not.
The song, the song though, like, and I love
the song as well.
They kind of they lost a bit of their like soul, like a bit of their character, those cats. So they were just like mean cats, and they didn't stand out at all. Whereas when I remember watching the animation, that's one of the big things I remember from that movie is the cats. And so I kind of felt like they were lost a little bit. But other than that, I thought the movie was really good.
Yeah. Kathy says her husband loves Hoop-Dee-Doo, but thinks it's a little overpriced for what you get. That's interesting.
We used dining plan credits when we went, so it's 2 table service, but it's a decent use of.
I'm good at eating in the all-you-can-eat places, so I guess I'll have to bring my A game. Bring my A game. Christine's asking if I've been to. Oh, sorry, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say one thing. In terms of value for money, we did find it a bit strange. Like when we were there, as soon as the show finished, they were like, "Get out."
Thank you for coming. Get out.
And like we were still drinking our drinks, and like I actually heard, I'm sure there was a story on the Days recently. Now I say recently, it was actually probably a few months ago, where something similar happened, and actually it was not a very nice experience. So and I think it was because we were the last show as well of the night. But in terms of value for money, like one of the things with an all you can eat is that, you know, you do spend a bit longer there because you're not just having your set food, you're eating a lot, and like it takes a bit of time.
Experience rather than
so that was the one thing I would say on the value for money side. Like, you know, if you don't get to finish your drinks at the end of the show, like that's a bit annoying.
Yeah, that's a bit. Christine is asking, have I ever been to Hong Kong Disney? I haven't, and Karen hasn't either. So it's on the list. It's the last one. I have been to Hong Kong. I've just not been to Hong Kong Disney. It's always been for work, and it's been a short trip. I want that castle to be done. I kind of just want that the construction to be over. Hannah's here. She went for a walk and went too far. So we'll be checking your Insta later, Hannah, for all the pictures of your beautiful walk. Yeah, beautiful walk pictures. Rochelle says, have we seen a Disney play? So
I saw Aladdin.
Yeah, I've also seen Aladdin. I had
Yeah.
it was really fun. We went with my whole family. We were sitting there on the road. Liam was there as well, and we said to my dad, "Dad, like, what do you think is going to be in the show?" And he looked at us and he said, "Oh, Under the Sea." And we just burst out laughing. We're like, "Dad, like, do you know where we are?" And then I don't know if you remember, but remember the bit that closes out Act One and the genie just goes crazy, sings all of
Yeah.
these Disney
Oh,
songs
yeah.
back to back. And there's a very tiny section where he sings
Under the
Under
sea.
the Sea. And so the whole thing closes, and Stephen and I sat there going, "Oh my God, Dad was right." Like,
That's
so yeah,
we
I
we
what did you
we did
think?
enjoy it. Rachel actually got us really good seats. I think it was for one of my birthdays, maybe, or Christmas or something. And we had really good seats. The only thing was
Yeah.
we didn't see like we had the backup actress for Jasmine, I think.
Oh,
Um
okay.
yeah, but other
Or
than that,
the understudy, can't remember exactly what they're called.
yeah. It was, well,
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah. Well, yeah, because when we looked at the posters outside, we're like, that's definitely not who we thought. But I mean, this she was still good. The show was still amazing. So
Excellent. Yeah, they always are. And it's very sparkly, that one. I saw
yeah.
Mary Poppins back in the day as well, and I think that might be my favorite. I think it's
Mm.
been a long time since I've seen it, but it was really, really good. And just Stephen and I went to that ages ago. We're trying to like think whether it's possible that we saw Carrie Hope Fletcher in it, because it was a really long time that we went, and there is a number of years between me and Carrie Hope Fletcher. So there is a possibility that I saw her in it.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, there was that one, and Lion King, obviously. You must have seen Lion
Oh,
King.
I saw The Lion King as well. Yeah, years ago. I
Yeah.
actually flew over from Ireland when I lived there to see it. But actually, the plays that I saw on the cruise were amazing. Beauty and the Beast on the cruise was
Yes,
like unbelievable.
everybody loves that Beauty and the Beast. Oh, I've seen
It's
Beauty and the
so
Beast on
good.
Broadway, the old version, the old
Oh
one. My
really?
God, his memories. Yeah. But I believe that the one in the cruise, they've gone
Good.
crazy with the set. The set's
It's
amazing,
really
right?
good. I hope I get to see it again because obviously we would have done. I would have been
Oh,
in the Bahamas last weekend. Just saying. Um, just saying. So
oh,
yeah, I would have seen it very recently. But yeah, hopefully we'll still get to see it whenever we get back on the Disney Dream. I
yeah.
think they will. It's so new that you think they'll have
Oh
it for.
yeah, no, they'll have it. They'll have the shows on the cruises. It was a bit sad yesterday because I don't know how many people saw the news, but Frozen,
Frozen.
we had
Yeah.
Frozen on Broadway has sadly said that it's not going to return
Yeah, it's so
after
sad.
coronavirus. Yeah, I think it's on New York Times. You can read
I
the
think there's quite a few
story.
plays that have been hit with that as well.
Yeah,
So
I'm surprised actually because it's weird because everything I thought Frozen on Broadway was doing really, really well because everybody that went that I saw on Instagram absolutely loved it, and I'm really shocked actually. I saw a few things afterwards. A couple of people who I follow who go to musicals a lot said that they liked it, but it wasn't their favorite one. So I was like, oh, it
okay.
didn't do as well as they thought that it would, I guess. So
Um, where did we start off? Oh, Claudine said, "What's your favorite Disney park treat?" That's from Elissa.
So I'm a little bit boring when it comes to Walt Disney World, and one does love a Dole Whip. So I do like Dole Whips. But if California side, I was thinking about this the other day, and I've never said it on these, and we get asked, but I've never said it on our live streams. But that churro, the Maleficent churro that comes with the marshmallow dip,
Oh, I didn't have
really
that.
good.
I
It's
didn't
really
have that.
good. It's by the castle. If you look at the castle to the right hand side, they've got a little cart there, and it's a churro covered in black purple sugar, and it comes with this
Ah,
marshmallow dip. And you put the churro into the dip, right? And of course, all the sugar comes off, and you don't get any dip, so you have to like really get it. But that is delicious. That's really good. What about you?
oh, in California, I liked the churro toffee, and
Yeah.
then
Oh yeah.
Disney World. Do you know what's actually become one of my favorites? The pineapple lumpia, the thing that we had. You know, the spring roll thing.
That's another one we always. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. The
that's so good.
pineapple lumpia, and a night blossom. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll have 8. Very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And then Claire said, Karen would love to see you and your family vlog going to Alani. Me too. Like, definitely. I would love to do that. We have talked about it. I think, yeah, we just did a trip last year to the West Coast. So I think like next time we look at a West Coast trip, we'll probably look to go down to Hawaii, kind of like what Luke and Rich did. I think that makes the most sense. So, or we could do like Japan to Hawaii. I don't know. There's a few options.
There is a few options. Mark is in his quiz and he's at the dingbats round. Sorry, Mark. No, you can do it. Say what you see. Say what you see. All right. Hello, Luca Rich. Welcome. And Ivana is talking about how do visas work for going to Shanghai Disney. Oh, we have fond memories of the visa situation.
They are not fun.
Not the most fun.
They are not a fun time.
Your life. The worst part of your magical trip.
No, actually, isn't there a sort of loophole if you are doing Shanghai and Hong Kong and you don't stay in Shanghai for too long, you actually don't need a visa or something strange like that?
You can go into Shanghai for 72 hours, I believe, and not have to get a visa. But as you enter, you need to show proof that you have a flight to leave. Yeah, so your flight must be in less than 72 hours time, and then you don't have to get a visa. So I know the UK system, so I can explain at least for the UK system. We have a Chinese visa center, which is part of a sort of I guess it's the Chinese embassy, right? So they run this Chinese visa
Not the Chinese
center.
embassy though, because if you go to the Chinese embassy, that's the wrong place, and that's what I did.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the Chinese embassy. You go to the Chinese visa center. There's I think there might be one in Scotland as well, but at least in London, it's very close to Bank Station, actually, very, very close to the Bank of England. So you go to the Chinese visa center and you fill out this huge form that you get online, and it's a huge form. They're going to be asking you your mother's names, your father's names, what they do for a job, what your last trips were, where did you go. They're looking for some flags, right? So some countries that maybe they don't want you to have visited previously for particular reasons. But my mum is a teacher, so for her I just put teacher, but my dad has a more complicated job, so I just put office worker, which seems to work every time. So that's a tip if you don't want to get complicated about one of your parents' jobs. Office worker is okay, as long as they do actually work in an office. You hand in your forms and you then wait. You sort of wait. You also give them your passport. You wait for 3 days and then come back. 3 or 4 days. Come back, pay your £80 because it will be around that much. It's about £80, I think, and then they'll give you back your passport.
Was it not 100?
It could be. It could be. Yeah. It could be more than that.
Because I remember when I went, I think I might have paid around £80 as an Irish citizen, but for some reason it's like double the price for a British citizen.
Gosh, I can't remember. Last time I went, they will ask you what type.
Are on here. They did it. They paid for the British one. They might know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure for British citizens it's like 100 and something.
Okay.
Like,
I can't remember. The last time I did it, I actually did ask for a multi-entry. So you ask for how many times you're going to go on vacation or enter into the country. So because I was traveling for business quite a lot, I asked for a multi-entry visa. So I got one for 2 years that I could go multiple times, or you can just, but I think that might be more expensive. But yeah, so you've got to fill out this huge form, but look up China visa information center, and then you can get all the information. If you are going to do it, I can send you the link. Obviously you ain't going to get a visa right now. In the future,
you have to actually go online to book the appointment to drop off your form. So it's not just a case of like filling your form online and dropping it in. You have to actually make the appointment to go and hand your form in and hand your passport in, and then you also have to come and collect it a few days later when it's ready. So it's kind of annoying, I guess, if you don't live in London. For us, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. And Mark's confirming about Frozen. Frozen will no longer return to Broadway. And obviously the Frozen show was supposed to be coming to London. So I'm also wondering what they're going to do with that right now. And I think we might have tickets. Or did we actually get, or did they get pushed back? The date got, I'm sure we have tickets. And so we'll have to find out what happens with that.
Yeah.
Cool. And yes, Gabby, who knows her stuff about the musicals, it is understudy. And she says Mary Poppins is also her favorite. So I think we need to revisit Mary Poppins when everything finishes, because it's been so long. And so if the Frozen thing doesn't work out, I think consolation trip to Mary Poppins would be lovely, because it is a really, really good show. It's a really, really good show. Kathy says I think they're going to have to close some Broadway theatres. It is so sad, because it's it's an art form, really. So it's a shame. Yeah, lots about that. Ivana says she had to cancel her Cali and Ulani trip. Yeah, that's really sad.
That's definitely a good combination of a trip to do, though. I think I would consider that.
I think
although
we have to still go. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Japan, Hawaii, and Australia. Now that's a lot of travel.
I mean, if you do, so they do these round the world tickets, right? So I don't know if anybody's done a round the world ticket, let me know, because I know a couple of people, a couple of friends of mine have done this, and you get a round the world ticket, and at the point that I knew about this was probably about 10 years ago. It was $2,500 with certain airlines, and you can just keep jumping on flights as long as you keep traveling in the same direction. So if you're going east to west, you can only go east to west, right? And you can go all the way around the world, east to west.
That's cool.
But you have to keep traveling in the same direction. You can't go backwards. So I can't go to Germany and then go back to Paris. Like, doesn't work. So,
that's cool.
So I guess you could, if you manage to if you can fly directly to Hawaii, you could go to Japan and then to Australia. What was it? Yeah, you could go to Japan and then to Australia and then Hawaii, because you are traveling
same direction.
Yeah, you're traveling in the same direction. We could talk about my plans for you, Karen.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. An amazing trip there. DLP to Walt Disney World, to Disneyland, to Aulani, to Tokyo, to Shanghai, to Hong Kong.
Okay, so this was actually my my second choice backup dream trip, because some time ago Stephen and I we actually started costing up the trip to go to every single Disney park in the same vacation. So it's okay, how much money would we need for this trip, and how long would it need to be to hit up every single Disney park in the same vacation? And I think we estimated that it was going to be 6 weeks, and it was a number of thousands, obviously a number of thousands, like £10,000 or something. But I remember it was 6 weeks that we would need to actually complete every single one, including travel, and still having a week in Walt Disney World, because Walt Disney World is actually a bit of the problem child, because you need to spend some time there. It's not something that you can. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of Americans I know that go for like 4 days, but they go more regularly. For us, it's like we don't go as often, so we go for longer. So yeah, that's the one though. That's the trip. Let's book it.
So tell me about your trip.
So actually, if we were going to go to Tokyo, there's a bit of a stand. Like, I'm going to extend it out to just a little bit extra of Japan, because if you go to Japan, there's like a few things that you absolutely must do. And one of the things which I think people struggle with is whether you put Disney at the beginning or at the end. And I think I would stick it in both. Like, I think I would do Disney at the beginning and at the end. And I think Rich did this at one point. I think you guys did it by accident, right? I think there was they went for the beginning of their trip, and then they went for a few days just before flying home. If you do Disney at the beginning and end of your trip, you can actually fly into Narita. Haneda's like a closer airport to Tokyo, but Narita is super close to Disney. So it's actually really nice to fly into Narita and then just go straight to Disney. So I think we'd fly into Narita and maybe do 3 nights at Disney. And then so that means that we get to go to Disneyland and Disney Sea and do park hopping on the other day. If we're staying in one of the resorts, though, I think we can go to either. And I would actually quite like to stay perhaps in the Ambassador's Hotel, because people seem to be really, really liking that. Although if one could splash the cash, Miracosta for sure. Like Miracosta for sure.
We're splashing the cash.
If we're splashing the cash, then we are having a view out over the lake of Disney Sea in Hotel Miracosta, because that would just be amazing. Yeah, because then you'd be able to see the show, whatever show it is, because Fantasmic is now done, but you'd be able to see the show. But even if not, you could just watch the beautiful sunrise over Tokyo Sea as you get up in Tokyo Disney Sea as you get up in the morning. Then I think we'll probably go into Tokyo and spend a few nights there, and I think we'll have a good time on the west side of Tokyo, so Shinjuku, Shibuya area, and we'll do kind of a few hipstery things, so coffee shops, nice restaurants, like some good Japanese food. And I
had some really good Japanese food when I was there. My uncle was like a foodie, so, and then his wife is Japanese, so she was able to take us to some cool places. But yeah, we had some really good food there.
Food is just amazing, and like any kind of like sort of Kushiage, which is like little fried stuff on sticks. They just bring it to your table and stuff. Okonomiyaki, like Japanese pancake, could do those things. And also, I think it might be a good thing to relive the Tokyo Disney shopping tour and go through the bunch of stores in Tokyo which sell Disney merchandise. So like Pony Climb, the actual Disney store itself, obviously Tokyo Hands, like do shopping stuff. We can catch a bullet train. She's got to do a bullet train in Japan. Catch a bullet train from Tokyo to Kyoto and spend some time in Kyoto. And it's like how long you spend in Kyoto, that's sort of the big thing, because there's so much to do there. It's very peaceful because like Disney and Tokyo would be quite high tempo, and Kyoto would be a lot more chilled out. And you can do some side trips in there. So if you stay there for a considerable amount of time, you do all the temples in Kyoto, the Red Torii Gates, like at Fushimi Inari, and the Golden Pavilion, Bamboo Forest, and then pop to Osaka for a day, and you can pop to Nara for a day, and pop to the onsen place for a day.
I'd love to go to one of the proper onsen places like what you've talked about. I think that sounds cool.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Kinosaki Onsen, that day we went there, that I think Liam and I just absolutely loved it, because we were just walking from one bathhouse to another bathhouse.
Yeah,
and
that's
it was
cool.
like the craziest place, and it was so quiet. It was amazing. And I remember I was sitting in this bath. There was another Westerner there. She was actually Spanish, but she could speak fluent English, and we were just sitting there completely naked, and it was a blue sky above us looking out over this river, and the wall was kind of high and sort of frosted, so you can see just out of it, so nobody could see in, but it was just naked and to the sky and just chatting, just in the park. Like it was just so crazy. It's like, it's so weird to think about it, but you just do it because everybody else is doing it, and it's just like, and it feels very like it's serene. It was amazing. So yeah, that. And then after that you can catch train all the way back, stop back in Tokyo Disney, and do a few more days before leaving, so nobody's sad about it like it's too far away, or it's just like it's at the end and at the beginning. Then you buy everything and then you fly home.
I like that plan. I like that.
Book it in. Book it in. Pay your £100 deposit. Let's have. Oh, I've just jumped down. Oh my goodness, I've lost it all. I've lost. Oh, I found it. I know where I am. And Mark says that the St. James's Theatre is not owned by Disney. It's owned by, I cannot say that word. So it won't necessarily be a Disney. Oh, sorry, Gabby says. She was responding to Mark. So okay, so maybe whatever comes back into that theatre might not be a Disney show, but that's okay. There's some really amazing other shows there. Thanks, Gabby. And Miller Muffin says that's an amazing trip, expensive but worth it. See, this is the thing right now, is because if you manage to hold on to your job and you're still working, hopefully you have a little bit more money to put into your next year's trip, so you can.
Yeah, exactly. So next year is going to be crazy.
Next year is going to be crazy. Kathy says she was looking at around the world tickets a few months ago, thought they were fairly reasonable. Yeah, I've always thought like the round the world tickets, it's really strange. I think it's mostly made for students that do, or like not necessarily students, but people doing those gap year things, right? So they're just like they're going around the world, and as long as they go in the same direction, they don't have to pay anything.
That's so cool.
Elissa wants to know, how many times do we think you've been to Disney parks around the world? We've been to Disneyland and CA over 50 times. Is that 50 individual days, Elissa? Well, maybe if you live in California, or 50 times that you've gone for vacation. Because
if it was days, like, God, I have no idea.
See, the weird thing is when we were kids, it kind of sometimes sometimes we'd go every year, and other times it wasn't, because it wasn't financially feasible. Other reasons. So it would depend. So as I was growing up, I probably went 12 times, maybe through different years, I guess. And then when I was older, then I sort of held on to that a little bit more. So it would be every year, because I could afford to go myself. And then when we lived in Tokyo,
it was a lot.
So when we lived in Tokyo, every month. So I think maybe Elissa, I think you might be beating me if you've gone 50. I think I'm more on the 40, around the 40 mark. So
like in terms of separate trips, I'm probably like less than 15. Oh, maybe if you include Paris, more, I guess it'd be like 20 or something. But in terms of days there, like we would go for a long time. So I'd probably spend like quite a lot of days in the Disney parks.
Oh yeah, because you do go for a really long time. Sean says Rob Plays did a video of doing every single park. I love that Rob Plays account. It's awesome. The YouTube channel. Around 15K, 15,000
I just don't know,
Great
like,
British pounds.
for me, if it would be better, like, I like the idea of it, right? But would it be better, like, would you get better value for your money just doing separate trips and actually having the energy and the time to enjoy things like this? I feel like you would just be exhausted. Like,
you might be exhausted. You might be exhausted.
Like, kills me anyway. Like, when I travel, I'm so exhausted. So
yeah, maybe that's why we've never done it, and also the price.
I'm just jumping down a bit. Oh, Luke and Rich said that they were a bit delayed, but the Chinese visas were over £100.
They were over £100. My info is old. Yeah. Yes, Kathy, you're right. It's one of the reasons why I haven't ever looked at moving to the US is because the vacation time for people working in the US is so low. Like, I don't know what it is, whether you could just get 2 weeks or something. In Europe, I think it's not even just in the UK, but in Europe, it's quite common to get somewhere between 20 and 30 days. I think so. Yeah. And so, yeah, we get a lot of time off. We have less national holidays than you, but not much less. So yeah, that's one of the things that stop working for European companies is, at least from what I've heard, sounds like you do tend to get more holiday days.
Yeah, that's true.
Christine, when will the Tokyo Disney Resort open?
Who knows? Like,
yeah,
I think that it won't be too far behind Shanghai, but like, you just don't know, because we don't know what their what the policies are going to be like.
It's kind of weird. I was checking out
America will be first, you know. I think
it will.
Not California, but I think Walt Disney World will be the next one to open. Then maybe
sounds like it.
Tokyo or Paris.
So yeah, it was weird because Japan's sort of increase in people getting the virus seems to be very slow, although I know some people are sort of not so confident on the numbers. I don't have any information related to that, but I know that they said it was quite slow, and I don't know whether it's because of general sort of mask wearing culture and cleanliness meant that it just didn't ramp up as fast there. There's like a bunch of things that people have said why it could be the reason, but now they're in sort of a they're in a state where they're not ready to open right now, and I think that might last for a little bit longer. And it's
a guessing game, really.
Yeah, from what I know from when I lived there, whenever they found anything dangerous in a park, so for instance, if somebody went to a park and then they could, like, near a park near where I lived in Tokyo, somebody got dengue fever, and then I can't know how you say it, dengue, dengue, I think it's called dengue fever, and they picked it up from the park. It travels by mosquitoes. So they closed the park, sprayed everything down for 3 months, like it was closed for 3 months. So I just know the level of caution is so high that it could be a little while now. We were making plans to go in August, but that we've stopped that now. I don't think we'll make plans to travel in 2020. But Veronica, I'm with you. I think about returning to Disney or the Tokyo Disney.
Yeah, I do too. You know, I can't wait to go back.
I know, and it is so much fun. And QTA6, I miss your Japan vlogs, Natasha, where when things are better, hope you can look for more shopping and food. So there will be another vlog on Monday. I'm going to be doing a video where we take a boat randomly, because even though I love trains, we're doing boats, from Hiroshima to Matsuyama. So we're going to a different city by boat. It was quite a different experience than taking a train. Tokyo's train system is very built up, and I think because its train system is so built up, Japan's train system is very built up, and its boat system isn't as built up. It's good, but it was a little bit more interesting than I was expecting. So that'll go on Monday. We'll have a more of that area that we're going to, Matsuyama, afterwards. Mount Prometheus view in Miracosta, Luke and Rich say. Yes, from the Miracosta Hotel, you can see the Mount Prometheus, which is a volcano, which sits in the middle of Tokyo Disney Sea. It's amazing, actually. It's a little ruin the magic, I'm sorry. But if you check out Tokyo Disney Sea on Google Maps and turn on satellite view and zoom in on the volcano at Tokyo Disney Sea.
I don't know what this ride does, so if you're going to spoil it.
Oh, it's not a ride. This is just landscaping in Tokyo Disney. But you can zoom in. You can see a road that goes from like outside of Tokyo Disney Sea and goes straight up the volcano.
Oh,
So
no
just
way.
go, yeah. Because I did Dining with an Imagineer back in 2016, and the Imagineer was a civil engineer, and he said that they must be able to get a fire truck to every single Disney ride, obviously, because it's a mechanical experience.
Yeah,
So you have to be able to get a fire truck to every single Disney ride, and so that you can put it out if it's on fire. And I believe the same as of Tokyo. So to get to Journey to the Center of the Earth, there's a road that goes straight up the volcano, but you can't see it from anywhere because of the high sides, but you can see it in Google
Maps. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really weird. Hello, Canada. Hello, Natalie.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Many times to Disneyland, but I just go for the day, 2.5 hour drive back and forth. That's all right, isn't it? I wish I was like
drive that. Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
I know, could you imagine? But Gabby, which car park do you park in? Do you park in the big car park? It's not the most fun experience I've had, that big car park. I like the Toy Story car park.
Toy Story car park. I stayed in the Hilton Hotel right beside there. It was really handy.
Yeah, and it's like your car is going to get hot. That's the only thing, because it's out in the sun, so you're going to come back to a boiling car. But it was a much better experience. But I would definitely do that.
Scott wants to know what you're drinking, Natasha.
Woohoo! What is Natasha drinking today? Natasha is drinking the Carver Micro IPA from Gypsy Hill. So Gypsy Hill is a brewery in London, and do you know what? They do an IPA set, so you can get like 4 packs of these IPAs, and I bought 3 of them, and in all 3 of their IPAs, and they are all awesome. Every single one. And Karen, they do lager packs as well. So like with their different lagers, so you can I think at least one of their lagers.
It's the one you were telling me about that I should try.
Okay. I'm going to order some more. I'm going to order some more.
So Kathy said, I've just been looking at the Tokyo hotels. They look awesome. 2 weeks to start for most. I only work part-time. Oh yeah, so she's saying it's like 2 weeks holiday.
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. But yeah, the Tokyo Disney hotels are really expensive. Are really awesome, but they're really expensive. And the biggest tips I've heard about there, I actually haven't stayed in one, really weirdly, because I always stay in Tokyo and travel in from Tokyo, because whenever I go with Stephen, we often use Tokyo as a base, and we're doing lots of stuff in Tokyo as well, like Akihabara and Nakano Broadway, all the geeky hangouts. And then we commute into Tokyo Disney, and that's what we like. I'd love to stay in the Tokyo Disney Hotel. Definitely the Alice in Wonderland room. Like,
that'd be so cool.
Think the Beauty and the Beast room is
cool too. Yeah, I really want to stay in a hotel there. I definitely would like to happen.
Yeah, and so like I would try for if I plan a trip for us, I would try to get one of those for the way back, like the ending trip.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Mega bucks though. They are mega bucks.
We'll set us all into one room. We'll get a group of us. We'll bring sleeping bags.
13 people, one group. It's I believe you can get
that little footstool. You know, like they have the what's it called?
I don't know. There's the footstool from Beauty and the Beast, which is the little dog, right? Yeah. So they have one of those, and the taps, and it's just a stained glass on the windows of the door to the bathroom is amazing.
It looks so cool.
The whole and like the wallpaper is all books. It looks like a bookcase. It's so awesome. I think the deal is you need to book it as soon as it becomes available. So it's like midnight 5 months before. I think it's midnight 5 months before. But if you are going to do it, check out TDR Explorer's vlog. He will have a lot of information on how to do it and set those alarms, because I think if it's not midnight, it might be 9 a.m. And if it's 9 a.m. for Japan, it's midnight for us. So it might be at midnight our time we have to book 5 months before.
It's like super intense to get those rooms.
Yeah, exactly. Elissa wants to know, what's our favorite meet and greet character at the Disney parks? What's my favorite meet and greet character at the Disney parks, Karen? What's your favorite? Okay, you said Mickey earlier. I was like, you have to meet Mickey.
Yeah, like Mickey's just a must, though, isn't he? Like I think I really love meeting Goofy. I have a soft spot for Goofy. But then also sometimes I like if you meet an actual like face character, because then you can have really good interactions.
Yeah.
And the evil queen was really good at Snow White, the what's it called? Storybook
Yeah, it's a
dining.
storybook dining, or the thing in the Artist Point, the character meal at Artist Point, right?
Yeah, I think it was just called Storybook Dining. Yeah. That's really
Want to
good.
do
She was
that.
amazing. She was just so funny. And I just,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it just depends, doesn't it? Like base characters can be like, really, really good, or like you just get lucky and they spend a lot of time with you. But I do love the face character interactions. But as just a
Yeah.
general character, probably Goofy. I love Goofy.
I know. I mean, you made me think when you said Goofy that Mexican Donald.
Oh,
Do you like?
Mexico.
I do like Mexican Donald at Epcot. It's pretty awesome. And Scrooge McDuck, like they did this whole thing where they were doing like all the ducks were out at Animal Kingdom, right? Yeah,
that was. We were like,
that
we
was
were
so fun.
going somewhere. We were like on the way to somewhere, and then next thing Natasha was like, Scrooge McDuck.
That was the day that we like tried to get on Dinosaur like 3 times, and every time. So I've got that vlog. I think I managed to edit a lot of it out, but it's like we're going to Dinosaur, and we're like, oh, Dinosaur's closed. We're like, okay, cool. And like, okay, second time we're going to Dinosaur. Like it's like, oh my god, it was not the day for Dinosaur.
That was the day that I scared
not happening.
as well. That was fun.
What was that? What did you do? Oh, yeah, in Yak and Yeti. Yeah, I know. Thank you for that, Karen. I was like, that Yak and Yeti meal was good. It was like I basically had a giant poke ball, but oh my god, like so.
And what were those things that we got to share?
Huge.
Shrimp,
nacho, or shrimp.
No,
what did we get?
Coconut shrimp.
I don't remember sharing anything. But...
Yeah, remember you said we had to get, was it coconut shrimp or something?
Oh yeah, coconut shrimp.
Really good.
Yeah, coconut. I will always get coconut shrimp. So if I didn't get it as a side, then I probably got it as something to share.
Yeah,
coconut shrimp, or if I didn't get it as a main, I got it as a side, something to share.
Yeah,
cool. Oh, so Gabby says I usually go where it takes me. But I'm rarely there for park openings, so it's not so bad to go into the Mickey and Friends one. Oh, okay, so the car park, so it's not so bad to get into the Mickey and Friends car park later. I think maybe the day that I went, it was close to park opening, so it was just, so maybe that's the trick. I either need to get there really early or come a little bit later on. And Peep Outside Lucy and Lewis says Akihabara, we miss it so much. Me too, and I think Stephen does too. So people who don't know, Akihabara is the geeky area in Tokyo. It's actually northeast of Tokyo Station, and it's where all the manga, anime, video games, computing, and actually a lot of Disney stuff as well. You can find loads and loads of Disney merchandise there as well.
Yeah, I really like it there. It's really cool.
Yeah. And so Liam and I bought our gaming computer from there. We bought it and made it in 2014, and it's still working. We're still running high-end games. It's an amazing machine.
That's cool.
Karen, you're up. Favorite ride? It's an obvious one.
Probably Tower of Terror.
Yeah, I was like,
but like I love Flight of Passage.
So long to answer this.
I love Flight of Passage though, but it's still like for all of the feels, it's probably still Tower of Terror.
Yeah, you do love Tower of Terror.
Flight of Passage. Like I have so much appreciation for Flight of Passage.
Flight of Passage is great. My favorite ride is Pirates of the Caribbean at Shanghai Disneyland.
Oh,
that's at the top spot. Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean at Shanghai Disneyland. And it was weird because I was watching all the videos of Shanghai Disneyland reopening, right? And it was just like, oh my god, I really desperately want to go. I just want to go on Pirates and Tron. That's it. If I could just ping pong between the two, I'd just be happy. But Pirates of the Caribbean is something else. Like it's just, I feel like I've been in a movie when I'm there. I just feel like it's like
you just it's like the first time, like that same kind of expression the first time I went on Flight of Passage, where I was just like, except in Paris I was like
it was just like that the whole I could feel it. I could feel it as I was going around, and I had seen it on YouTube already, and I already knew that it was amazing, and I knew that there was something really amazing which happened at the beginning, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to be able to tell because you can see it, and I just like I saw it and it just happened, and I was like, oh, and it was just from that moment on 8 minutes of like,
it's so good, it's so good.
It's an amazing
that ride in itself anyway has like great music, like it just brings out so much emotion, so like to then have it done so well it just, yeah, it's so good.
The bit where you fall back and then like the boat turns around and you're sort of going under, and I'm just like, and it just feels like that. It's just, they just,
so good.
it's extremely expensive but fantastic ride. A fantastic ride. Gabby wants to know what my history with Japan is. It's really, it's got a geeky history, Gabby. So I played a lot of video games when I was younger. I've always played Nintendo games. I've always played Mario games and such. And my brother got me into role-playing games like video games, like Zelda. I guess was more on the adventure side, but then I got into Final Fantasy and stuff like that. When I went to university, I started learning Japanese, and at that point, the only reason why I wanted to learn Japanese was so that I could play video games when they came out. That was the only reason. And the more I learned about the culture, which you do learn as you learn a language, the more I got into it. So then after I left uni, I was like, actually, I do want to go and live there someday. And I'm still amazed I made it happen. Like it's like, you know, achieving a life goal. It was still, you know, a pride moment, I guess. Yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, that's it. And Scott says he can't wait to go back to Akihabara. We planned on going this year, but cancelled due to the Olympics. But yes, that obviously works out for the best now with the pandemic. Yeah, I know. And I'm still looking at the situation. But now it's getting quite close to, because I thought when the Olympics were postponed that maybe some things would open up in summer, and I'm still looking at it. But
I think it's going to be a case of like probably looking for a last minute deal if things do open up, right?
Yeah. It would be, I think that's the only thing that I have like that I can do. And
or you can just like come on a last minute trip with me, Rachel. Claire is coming now apparently too. We'll drag a few others along, go to Walt Disney World.
Good. Walt Disney World last year was so good.
It was so good.
Weird. It was like when I went with my brother in 2016, it was like that kind of trip where we were just okay, everything, we're just gonna go all in, and we just went, you know, crazy, just like let's clean up everything. Yeah. And when I went with Liam, it was like a very coupley trip, and you know, we had all these amazing meals, and oh my god, we went crazy on food and wine. We were like, we need to complete food and wine, just like eat everything. That was a bit ridiculous. And then when I went with you guys, I was just like, just whatever, you know. Whatever.
Yeah, there was no pressure, because it was like, I'll be back another time, and like you kind of got like a bit of some solo time, and you know, it was very chilled. I really enjoyed that trip, and then we obviously met up with like our friends as well. So it was just, that trip just like worked out so perfectly.
So many things. Like there was a bit, like you said, there was a bit of solo trip, there was a bit of friends trip, there was a bit of like nice eating, a bit of like loads of people suddenly, and so it was really,
and like the best Ohana experience I've ever had. So
oh my god, that was
so good.
Yeah, that was so funny.
I'm just checking on the last few comments coming through. Yeah, people saying your story is amazing.
And Natalie says, run Disney and Walt Disney World is amazing, and planning to be back for 2023. Natalie, I don't even know what's happening tomorrow, let alone 2023. Wow.
Yeah. So the marathon weekend went on sale a couple of days ago, maybe not yesterday, day before. It went on sale for pass holders, I think a week ago. And it has sold out. And I don't actually know. I haven't looked into it because I was not planning to go next year. But I wonder if capacity is limited because everything has sold out. And I feel like a lot of people probably aren't booking things right now. So it makes me think that they've probably reduced capacity for January, like in anticipation that they'll have to have some restrictions in place. But Run Disney events are amazing. I love them so much. I've done Dopey, which like is insane. I still want to do it again one day. And Natasha, you know, I'll talk you into it. You know, I'll at least talk you into part of it. You'll do part of
that meme with that, like.
I feel like I can convince a few people to do it. I think it's gonna happen. But yeah,
it's annoying because I know you're gonna convince me to do it, and that's the most annoying thing. Like it's just like, what is the point in me saying no? Like I should just go fine. Like here's my details, just whatever.
And also, like, the half marathon weekends are so good as well. I did like Wine and Dine twice now.
Wine and dining sounds good. I can do that bit.
That's a good one. That's a nice one as well. Yeah, that's at like early November is a good time because you get like the crossover from Halloween to Christmas. Then you get the Run Disney event. Like, so that's a pretty cool time to do it as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Natalie did say it's capacity. So
Yeah. So
it makes perfect sense. Like, it's a bit of a shame though, isn't it? So I guess right now that's the other problem where it comes, like with the parks reopening and sort of looking at the Shanghai Disney stuff, and you think, wow, like that looks like a very pleasant experience, but the capacity is it's just gonna hit, like you're gonna hit capacity every day, and so it's gonna be harder for people to find.
I think it's going to be a very long time before we see parks back to normal, like pre-coronavirus levels. I think it's going to be quite some time.
Yeah. And Sean says one day we'll cross over trips, hopefully, because Sean, you know where all the good beer is. So
Yeah.
I hope that as well. Anniversary. Oh, so your anniversary year is in 2023. So you're going to go running for your anniversary year, Natalie. There's other things to do. No, that's awesome.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really, really cool.
You, Natalie.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Claudine says, I just want to thank you for your videos. We've never traveled internationally and lived vicariously through your adventures. Oh, thank you very much. So I'm glad. So I hope I capture. It's quite funny. Like, I don't think I've told this story before, but you get some interesting comments on the YouTubes, right? Like, you have to expect when you put YouTube videos up that you're going to get some kind of interesting comments back. And I swear, like, within a couple of weeks, somebody had told me that they saw too much of my face in a video, and then another commenter has said, not enough face. So I was just like, I was like, nice video, too much of your face. Or like, and then another one, we want to see more of your face. And I was like, okay, I guess if I have two complaints that are opposites, I'm probably doing about the right amount of face. So I'm glad they are. And you can at least see some of the scenery.
So Natalie meant the anniversary year of the marathon weekend, not her anniversary.
We're like, happy anniversary, Natalie. That makes
I should know that, really. Sorry, I jumped off Felicity's comment.
No, you're good. Felicity says, I'm really hoping to go to D23 Expo for 2023 for the anniversary. So D23, I've been like, ooh, let's do D23 this year for like a number of years. Like, D23 looks awesome. But the queues seem like something from beyond. So Stephen and I have been to anime expos. I don't know how many anime fans are here, although I do know Tommy's here and I know he does watch anime. But there's an amazing convention in California called Anime Expo, and it used to be at the Anaheim Convention Center right next to Disney. So we could get room block tickets in one of the Anaheim Convention Center hotels. We used to stay in the Hilton or the Marriott for like a really cheap price, and then go over to Disney, which was amazing. But the queues for that convention were out of this world. Stephen and I stayed I think we waited 10 hours to see Clamp, who's a manga group. They have an artist and a writer and people that put the story together and stuff. And so all as one group, and they make a number of anime, mangas that get turned into anime, like Cardcaptor Sakura. But we waited 10 hours, sat down in a queue to see them. God. Yeah, and I hear that D23 is a similar experience in that way. Although maybe it'll be different now after this situation. So I'm in, like, I really want to go. The queue situation is the only thing that makes me feel like, but hopefully they'll find another way around it. There's so many technical ways to get around it now. Like, you know, like tickets.
Virtual queues.
Virtual queuing. Yeah, definitely.
We've got a few more comments come through. Yeah, I like that comment. The one you just picked up, the two of them. So,
Sean says we both have the right amount of face, which is good. I'm glad. And Derek says, my wife and I think you have the perfect balance of face to park ratio.
Yes.
That's good. You do sometimes watch footage back, and like, especially when I was sick recently, and sometimes I just look and I'm just like, I've been talking about these wonderful places that we've seen, and I've not shown any of it. Just been like shown, like,
I get similar like comment on I think it's my tour of the Toy Story hotel in Shanghai, which actually I think is probably the video on my channel that has the most views. And this guy was like, oh my god, we're like X number of minutes in and she hasn't even got inside the hotel. But for me, like, I love that kind of detail. Like, I want to see everything. So right. If I was going to the hotel for the first time, I want to watch a review, like, or a tour that shows every little bit of detail. But this guy was so annoyed about it.
It's amazing. Like, one of the best pieces of advice I heard was from Gary C, and he was like, make the videos that you want to watch.
You want to see. Yeah, that's it. You're
and it's
never going to please everybody.
exactly, and it's like and it's not. It's just, because obviously you got
I
into
find
it
it
for a
funny.
particular reason, and so
Yeah.
it's like I watch the video back, and if it makes sense to me and it it works for me, then I'm like, okay, it's good to go. But yeah, you cannot. It's the thing that if for YouTube, it's the thing that you just need to live with yourself. You cannot please everyone,
Exactly.
and you will get some funky comments. Well, you cannot please anyone. Nobody can be pleased. No, you cannot please everyone. You cannot please everyone.
I think,
and you will get some funky comments. It's not okay to troll, but you will get some funky comments. And
I think, like you said, as long as you make content that you enjoy, like, and that you would enjoy to watch as a viewer. Obviously, you can take on some constructive criticism, but like, but you can't, like you say, you can't please everybody. Someone will say it's too long, and someone will say it's too short, and it's like, well,
yeah, I always found that with the length. So when I started, there was a few of my colleagues, and like a number of my colleagues know that I vlog, and so they were saying, like, the videos are good. They're just a bit long, and I know they weren't into Disney, and so it was nice that they were watching them. I think a lot of them are in marketing, and some of them do video work, and I think their point is YouTube as a platform has shorter videos, and so realistically, you want to be getting them in that kind of 7 to 15 minute mark thing. That's what you should be aiming for. And so I did that for a bit, and then I just found the videos that I was watching were a lot longer. Like I was watching,
and I prefer to watch longer. Yeah. Same. I just feel like in 15 minutes, you just don't get. It's hard to get into it, especially because like if you're watching park footage, a lot of the time we watch it is to like live vicariously through the person, and so like in order to get the whole feel of the park and the science and all that sort of stuff, you kind of need more than 15 minutes. But I mean, I enjoy, like, some people's vlogs I watch are 15 minutes, I enjoy them, and others I watch are an hour or more, and I enjoy them too. So it just depends, really.
I know, nowadays it is what it is, right? So I will divide up my Disney. If I'm doing a solo trip to a Disney park, I will get 4 hours of footage, and that might be hitting it a bit. So I think for that, like, I'd usually divide it up, but I cut it at a place that makes sense. Like, there's obviously something that I do something changed. I'm like, oh, okay, this seems like a place to cut. So I'll cut it here. But with the Japan stuff, I've got what I've got, and if it's 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes, and if it's half an hour, it's half an hour. But I just have what I have, and that's it. That's it. So
cool. Right, let's grab the last few comments that have come through.
Said, I'm seriously considering the Sorcerer's package, which I think is related to the D23 thing.
Yeah.
I did not know.
I don't know what that is, but I heard about it.
Fancy schmancy package where you get to do things and you don't have to
fast.
Sounds good. Price depending. And Tommy says they've all become crazy since anime boom and comic book movie boom. I think this is related to the queues and such in anime conventions. It's been a bit nuts. Do you know what's odd? I had a business trip every single time when we the 2 years that we were in Tokyo, and I missed Tokyo Game Show, but Liam went, and I think he said it was quite crazy, but also really good. I don't think they have quite a bad queue situation there. But yeah, in the American conventions, I know they can get quite crazy because they're so big. I think that's the thing. And Sean says he loves your Toy Story hotel video. Karen made me want to go. Yeah,
you know what? I actually
you were out in your gimbal.
Yeah. And then I was still, remember I was sick all that week as well, so I have this like weird sick voice. But I actually have done similar tour of the park, and I did it like area by area, and I never put it live, but I feel like I should maybe put it up, and we could do like a virtual trip to Shanghai together while none of us can really go anywhere.
We should commentate it.
Yeah, we should. We can do like a premiere or something.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Let's do that. Maybe on my birthday week, you can all come on a birthday trip with me to Shanghai.
Yeah,
and we'll go to
the park. That would be amazing. Oh yeah, we should finish up soon. That's right. Paula, are you this week's Crim? Because are you I lost the plot. I'm glad you're doing Friday Live. So if you've just joined, Paula, welcome. We are going to finish up. But next week we'll see you. And Cutie says it's showing the right content, and being yourself is what makes the vlogs so fun to watch. You both show that. Oh, do you know? Thank you so much. That's
10,000 Australian dollars. I don't know how much that is, but I assume it's a lot. What's the conversion?
we'll have to look it up. Wait, I'm going to click things.
Okay,
10,000
I'll get the last comments.
Australian dollars.
I've been to Comic-Con a few times. That's crazy. You should do that, Karen. Thanks. I will do. I
It's
will. I
5K.
just need to.
It's 5K. 5,000.
Oh my God. That's a lot.
I think I'd queue. I think I'll do the queue.
Neither. But like, I guess if you really wanted to go, I would queue. I don't think I could pay that much. That's a lot. But I guess if it's a once in a lifetime thing, maybe, I don't know. It's a lot.
Sorry, Corinne. But that story is one of my favorites. I love it. Felicity says virtual Shanghai sounds amazing, so we should probably do that. And Jane says, what Miyazaki movie shall I check out? I've seen Totoro. I guess that's Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away. But any other recommendations? Laputa Castle in the Sky, which is this picture up here. Castle in the Sky is really, really good. I absolutely adore that movie. That would be my next recommendation for you. Oh, Cat Returns is also good. It's kind of like, it's a very relaxing movie. It's like an afternoon movie, Sunday afternoon movie. I really love Cat Returns. Cool. Oh, sorry, I didn't get that, Paula. Natalie says she loves the vlogs. Paul Corinne says I never lived that down.
It will always be pulling a crin for anyone that shows up late to our lives from now on.
It's brilliant. All right, it's time.
It's time. It's time.
Thank you so much for joining. Today, everyone. And it's been a cruddy week, so I feel very like it's really cheered me up. So thank you very much. And yeah, it's been great. Next week we'll be back on Karen's channel. What time, Karen? What day?
8 p.m. on Friday.
8 p.m. Bring your beers, your beverages. What are we doing?
My dad says that Corinne has legend status, and he also says, "Mom says bye."
Amazing.
Thanks, Mom.
Have a good week, everyone. Stay safe.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, we'll see you all another time.
I'll do the waving while you hit the button.